happened yesterday that I wanted to share, and it gives me a really great opportunity to point out my usage of what I'm talking about here in all my videos. One of my videos on Instagram, one of my reels, when you played it with the volume on, it was like fast forwarded or something, and I sounded like Minnie Mouse. It was bad. And I thought it was just not my imagination. I knew it wasn't my imagination. I thought it was just my phone and like something was going wrong with my Instagram. So I had reached out to my assistant and I said, can you play this one and see what happens on your end? And she laughed. She was like, oh no, like you sound like Minnie Mouse. So she immediately removed it. And she was frustrated. She had tried it took her a long time to upload it to Instagram. It seemed right at the time. So I did feel bad for the time that she had put into it. I didn't go into a panic at all. I didn't worry about it. I found it funny. I was laughing. My 9-year-old daughter was convinced that someone was hacking me and trying to sabotage me. I don't know where she gets these ideas from of sabotage. Why does a 9-year-old know what sabotage is? And I was just saying, you know what? I'm human. And if people see it in Instagram and were judging me, oh, well, I'm human. We can't change the fact that it happened. Didn't even cross my mind to get mad at my assistant, so I'm really glad about that as well. And because she did nothing wrong. I didn't sit there and worry about what people would have thought about it and either berate myself or, like I said, my assistant, or like I said, worry about it. I'm human. It was kind of funny. It sounded hysterical, and it's done, and we move on. And so I just wanted to point out that my whole message to people is about being human. When you are in your core of inherent worth, I'm enough and I matter because I was born. I have worth because I was born. I'm enough and I matter, period. Sometimes I forget them. I'm enough and I matter, period. I have worth because I was born, period. I stand equal to all. And I can hold myself in warm regard in spite of my flaws and imperfections. I can hold myself in warm regard in spite of my flaws and imperfections. That reel on Instagram looked pretty flawed. It looked like a flaw on my part, and I can still hold myself in warm regard. I think the Vicky of a couple years ago would have plummeted into the less than spot. Oh my goodness, what are people going to think? Not even just the less than spot, but we've talked about this. The E is a lens of self-esteem, which I also like to use the new term, like self-worth. The E is a lens. E is for esteem. A is for achievements. S is for society. And the final A is for attributes or assets. And I am society-based. I speak very openly about that. So the historical Vicky, it would have been like, oh my gosh, what are people thinking about me? That's so embarrassing. I wonder how many people saw it. That one's funny too on Instagram because am I happy or sad that few people saw it, right? Because Instagram is all about the numbers and how many people viewed it and how many people liked it. So I'm hoping for all these numbers. I don't even follow it. I'm not gonna lie. So I want more people to have seen it, viewed it, but then I'm going to be embarrassed because of how many people saw it. I mean, side note, I don't know how known it is, but many, many people watch reels on Instagram with the volume off and they just read the captions. So I really have no idea how many people heard the volume or heard the sound of it. But that's what I wanted to point out today. Can you hold yourself in warm regard in spite of your flaws and imperfections? Do you know that you matter? Do you know that you matter just because you were born? If you struggle with any of this, give me a call. Go to yourdecisiondiva.com, yourdecisiondiva.com, because I'm your decision diva. I am your queen of clarity. And let's work on where you struggle in those ways. Do you know that you matter? Do you know that you have worth because you were born? Can you hold yourself in warm regard in spite of your flaws and imperfections? When you go to yourdecisiondiva.com, you will get a guide that spells all that out cleanly for you. And you can basically have me in your pocket, I like to say. And then, like I said, contact me. All my information's there. And let's work on what's holding you back.